In Act 2, Scene 3, we learn that Romeo is very close with Friar Lawrence, who is a priest, for he had communicated with Friar Lawrence about his love with Rosaline. So he is very excited to tell Friar Lawrence about his love with Juliet, and he asks them to marry them. Friar Lawrence then agrees to marrying the couple in the hopes that their love will end their parents' hate. The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, and checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light, and fleckled darkness like a drunken reels, from forth day's path in Titan's fiery wheels. Now ere the sun advances his burning eye, the day to cheer and night stank dew to dry, I must upfill this oyster cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juice flowers. The earth that's nature's mother is her tomb. What is her burying, grave that is her womb. And from her womb, children of divers kind, we sucking on her natural bosom find. Many for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. O mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, stones, plants, and their true qualities. For naught so vile that on earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good, but straining from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself being vice, misapplied, and vice sometime by action dignified. Within this infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this being smelt, with that part cheers each part, being tasted, stays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, father.
But a sight, what early tongue so sweet salute me? Young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. And care keeps its watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where on bruised youth with unstuffed brain doth crouch his limbs, and their golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight?
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
Good pardon, sin. Was thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father? No, I have forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's good, my son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou askest me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me. That's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy sight flies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And all combined, say what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesus Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thou sallow cheeks for Rosaline? How much salt water thrown away in waste, to season love, that of it doth not taste. The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clear. Thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek that stain doth sit, of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If ere thou waste thyself, and these woos thine, thou and these woos were all for Rosaline, and art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Woman may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
Baddest me bury love.
Not in a grave, to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide me not. Her I love now doth grace for grace, and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well, thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me, and one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove, to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand in sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
In the beginning of Act 2, Scene 3, Friar Lawrence has a beginning speech, and in his speech, there's a theme that the bad outweighs the good, and Friar Lawrence uses an example of a flower which smells good, but it's actually poisonous, proving the fact that in nature, the bad does not justify the good. And as the scene moves on, Romeo tells Friar Lawrence about his love for Juliet, and he tells Friar Lawrence that he wishes that he will marry them. Friar Lawrence first disagrees to Romeo because he thinks that Romeo likes Juliet of her looks instead of her heart. But he later agrees to marry them because he hopes that their love will end their different parents' hate against each other. And Friar Lawrence's decisions and hopes is foreshadowing the end, and when Romeo and Juliet's love ultimately does end the hate between the Capulets and the Montagues, but sadly it ends with their death.